Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM, AM 630. WMAL.
It is 6:37. You're with the Morning Majority, and this is our first week on the big FM stick, as we like to say, 105.9 FM. You can hear us still on the old 630 AM signal, but we're coming through crystal clear with FM stereo sound on 105.9 FM. And for the very first time, our audience will get to hear the crystal clear voice of Lanny Davis as he weighs in on the topics of the day. Lanny, our favorite Democratic guy, always comes in, tells us how the other side sees things. Lanny, you've written an interesting story that I liked a lot that talks about the problem that the President of these United States has with American Jewish voters. Sort of run me through some of this. And this, all, of course, comes in the wake of the big loss in New York 9, a district that had a lot of very Orthodox Jewish voters.
Well, first of all, good morning in my crystal clear FM liberal Democratic voice. Look, this is a paradox. We have headlines this morning where the President of the United States is standing up literally to the world at the United Nations in defense of Israel, and a very ill-founded effort by the Palestinian Authority to have a state declared before the sides have negotiated a state. And it's only the President of the United States who is really, Europe seems to be very indecisive here. So you have President Obama clearly and strongly supporting Israel, and several weeks ago he saved lives, according to Prime Minister Netanyahu, who thanked him publicly by calling the Egyptians and getting commandos in to save the Israelis in the Israeli embassy. So you have this set of facts, and then the other set of facts, which is that the Jewish community, universally, it's not just the right wing, which is what the White House said about New York's 9th. It's just not true. It is across the board. There is unease. There are lots of Obama supporters and people like me who are supporting Barack Obama for re-election, but still have concerns about some of the words that he chooses and some of his policies in the previous couple of years that have caused some of these concerns, like the fact that he's been strongly supportive of Israel.
Your first set of facts, I think, are wrong. I mean, first of all, it's been 2.5 years of Obama's administration and his policies which have put Israel in a bad spot. And while he may be doing the right things now, in many ways for Israel, it's, too little too late. I mean, and the president's doing whatever he can, I guess, to stop this vote from actually happening at the UN. It was the president a year ago who said we need to have this vote. We need to declare the Palestinians an official state. So I'm not quite sure that you're right when you say that the president is the only one standing up for Israel at this point. He wasn't exactly walking, lock and step with them for the last 2.5 years.
Well, first of all, you have a point that I make in my column in The Hill today, which is in the last several years, he went to Cairo and didn't visit Israel in the first several months and gave a speech in which he, I think, mistakenly attributed the creation of Israel to the Holocaust, which lends credence to the big lie that the Palestinians and Arabs lived in Palestine, and the people of Israel and the Jews that settled in Israel came after World War II because of the Holocaust. They were there for 3,000 years, and that's the whole effort, worldwide effort, to delegitimize Israel that President Obama, I think, unintentionally contributed and gave credence to. That began the great unease in the Jewish community, including people like myself. But you can't take away from the fact that what he is now doing is quite courageous. He has alienated a good amount of the Arab world, which he was cultivating to try to get credibility in order to negotiate a peace.
I get all that, Lanny. Let's talk about how this reflects politically, though. You got a guy who's not doing well with Jewish Democratic voters. There's a poll out today says he's not doing very well with black Democratic voters. How in the world does this guy get reelected? And is that why we're seeing this sudden hard shift to the left?
Well, first of all, he does have difficulties because of facts on the ground in the economy. If we had 6 or 5% unemployment, everything you just said wouldn't be the case. So the fact is, no matter what speeches, no matter what happens, unless there's a shift in the economy, he's going to be in a difficult position. I'm supporting him because I think he was dealt a bad hand in doing the best anybody could have done, whether it's George Bush or Barack Obama, I'd still be saying the same thing. He's doing the best that he can, and I don't see any other policies that would be better. But I do agree with you that he's got a serious political problem in the Jewish community and in other elements of the independent voter. And that's really the focus of his attention in his campaign. I wish he didn't engage in harsh rhetoric. I think now's the time to move to the center and appeal to the independent voter, not to the political base of the Democratic Party, where the polarization is occurring.
Lanny, I noticed that Bill Clinton actually sort of knocked Obama's deficit reduction plan, saying, what I'd like to do is just start with payroll tax cuts, maybe take them out because they have a bigger return. It's a bipartisan idea. James Carville last week was saying hit the panic button. You Clinton guys ever get together and sort of game out what a Hillary Clinton presidency would have looked like? You guys having meetings?
The Clinton guys I know are supporting Barack Obama for re-election over Rick Perry and Mitt Romney, who are the two likely nominees. So we might have concerns about tactics, but we support Obama's policies for the most part, and President Clinton certainly does. But I think tactically there definitely can be some second-guessing about a style of leadership that waits to the very end to jump in. And we got health care with that style of leadership. I can't criticize it, but we then lost the message war on health care. So I think there are a lot of genuine constructive criticisms, and I think Barack Obama has been listening to try to focus on the deficit and national debt. But the Republicans are really not interested in solving this debt problem. I think they're interested in defeating Barack Obama and not getting anything done.
All right, Lanny, good to talk to you as always. We'll do it again next week.